Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're doing okay as I sit down and record this at about 1:45 on this Wednesday, December 10th. Hope everyone is doing well. It's been a good Wednesday so far. Christina, Zizi, and I took a ride down to Gulfstream Park this morning. Got got to see Shug, hung out with him in the office for a little bit. We've got a couple of West Point horses with Shug down at Gulfstream, who of course also has the bulk of his operation up at Payson Park in Indiantown. But it was good not only seeing Shug, but Statesman, who's training excellent, and Cugino. In fact, I've got some video here of Cugino that I shared on Chatter. There he is. Look at that. Look at that handsome boy. So Shug was really pleased, he told me, with his breeze over the weekend at Gulfstream. He worked a half mile on the dirt. He'll have one more work this weekend, and assuming that goes according to plan, we'll run next December 20th at Gulfstream in the Fort Lauderdale Stakes. I also wanted to say how much I enjoyed the Ocala yearling showcase. I do wish Danielle Austin was in this picture that she took, this family photo that she took of all of us at Dr. Eisenman's, but it was a wonderful event. And I think even in my near 5 years with the company, how much the showcase in December has grown. So we had a great turnout. Our yearling class. We've had some great yearling classes, of course, and some pretty deep ones. I mean that is the mission after all, but it does feel like this crew of yearlings is second to none, both in the terms of quantity, but most importantly quality. And yeah, just really enjoyed my day and change in Ocala, and look forward to seeing everybody in 2026 and beyond, and certainly our horses. As far as the West Point front, it was a pretty quiet weekend. We had only a handful of horses that raced in the entirety of last week. Uh, Liberation did become the 15th West Point owned stakes winner on the year in 2025 with her win in the Soviet Problem Stakes late Sunday out at Los Alamitos. So congrats to her. I certainly wish Slider good luck, and we'll keep our eye on him moving forward. Didn't run as well as I think many of us wanted, or at least hoped, in that 30K claimer at Turfway Park, and we'll always have a soft spot, especially looking back to his 2-year-old season. But Liberation was good. I know the final time was slow, and both she and the runner up labored through the last couple of furlongs going a mile. But as I texted a couple of my partners that are in on Liberation, I would feel and would have felt a lot worse had she gotten a 54 or 53 buyer and not come out on top in that photo. I will say that Redham horse, the 6 horse who's dropping back there in the purple cap and the purple and white silks, went after Liberation. This was not a case where it was a 5 horse field and our filly was 1-5, and they were just going to let her go to the lead and dictate and basically walk the dog. They went after her. That first quarter was fast. Maybe a mile, even with her pedigree, is a little further than she wants to run. I thought Joe Bianca on Chatter made a good point that maybe she's just plateaued on the dirt, and plans call for her next time out to try the grass. But she won the race. Congrats to Liberation. I don't care how fast or slow she ran. She won. She's now a California bred stakes winner, and she's just been really really solid. Very very strong 2-year-old season out of her. So we look ahead. This is sort of the calm before the storm, just as far as West Point runners are concerned. You can look at the upcoming races tab on our website. The weekend of December 20th, we've got a lot going on, as you can see, led by, of course, Cugino, but we've really got some nice horses running, including our Bill Firster, Pillar of Beauty, Langdon, Willpower. So Reagan's Honor. So yeah, first time starter, maiden special weight Central, and it'll be good to have Creed's Vision back. Hopefully his race goes on Friday, December 19th at Tampa Bay Downs. But we've got the lone two here. So I'll keep it short and sweet as far as Cajun Gold and Counting Stars with their two races. Heather Smolin has shared in the updates. I mean, look, it's been a long saga and journey to get back to the entry box with Cajun Gold. He's a big, heavy horse, and it just took Heather and her team a while to get him, sound enough, his feet healthy enough where she would feel comfortable entering him. He might need a race, but the fact that he's on the verge of racing excites me. First thing I did was size up the pace in Saturday's first race at Gulfstream. I was a little disheartened in my mind. I'm thinking, Cajun Gold's pretty fast. Is there a chance we maybe catch a 6-horse field on the grass? And speed is always so dangerous on the Gulfstream turf. Would we potentially be in a spot where we might just be able to dictate? Probably not going to happen with this Wesley Ward horse in the mix, the seven horse Rebel with a clue, this Irish bred. You talk about long journeys and sagas. I mean, this is a horse who's about 2.5 weeks away from his 5-year-old birthday, and he's run approximately twice. So Cajun Gold probably not going to get loose. But overall, this looks like a good spot to get him back racing again. And I will be disappointed if he does not run well against this crew. I mean, the Ward horse scares me. I would imagine the 9 Melody Man on the outside, who hasn't run since the tail end of February. He's probably a contender in here. He's certainly going to be one of the betting choices, maybe second choice behind the Ward horse. We're going to take some money too with Cajun Gold. The 4 Knight is supposed to run well. His first turf race, big improvement from first to second start, moving from the tapete to the turf. But good luck to Cajun Gold. Let's get a good hard race and return effort under his belt, and that'll set him up moving forward. And then we've got Counting Stars. She's our lone stakes entrant this weekend out at Oaklawn Park, running in the Astral Spa Stakes. The plan originally, following her very disappointing, I was pretty crushed. Might be putting it, might be a touch exaggerating or hyperbole, but boy, oh boy, I was not envisioning her running fifth in that Myrtlewood Stakes at Keeneland. But the plan was, after that disappointing effort, was originally to stretch her out in distance. Race is not filling. It's frustrating for all of us. I don't care who you are, partner, you work for the company, you're a trainer. It's a reality, and it's frustrating. So our 2-turn allowance race Thanksgiving weekend at Churchill did not fill, and this was the best option moving forward. I do think from an overall quality standpoint, assuming we get the quote unquote good Counting Stars, this is a very good spot to get her hopefully back in the winner's circle and heading in the right direction, even if you're like me and you think ultimately 6 furlongs is going to be just simply short of her best. The 2 Victory music, and it does look like there's some speed in here. There's going to be some pace for her to hopefully close down, led, of course, by the 2 Victory music, who's coming out of, in terms of like most impressive last out effort, I think she's the filly to beat here. Got a good buyer, showed good speed, was well clear of the 3rd place horse in that recent Churchill allowance. And you don't see many horses win late June in Kentucky, and stakes or otherwise, and then ship in the middle of the summer down to Gulfstream Park. And clearly she just did not run well. Not an easy place to ship in to in the middle of the summer. She caught that sloppy sealed track August 9th, didn't run well, but her return race was very solid. I view her as the horse to beat. Robbie Medina's got a horse in here, the 8 Debbie Doll, who's run fine in her 2 races to date. I was curious, and I understand she was favored last time out, so that wasn't a win out of the blue. But I mean, she notched a pretty fast win, relatively speaking, on Bayer. I was curious if maybe that was a speed track she caught November 1st at Churchill. But looking back through the charts, it looked like a fair and even racetrack. So that's a legit effort. And I asked Tom Bellhouse about Robbie Medina, who used to work prior to going out on his own, was an assistant with Shug. And if you ask Tom Bellhouse, whose opinion I respect greatly, Tommy says one of the most naturally gifted horsemen he's ever met in his life. So that horse is dangerous. The 8 Debbie Doll, and I was curious as well. Outside of our filly, who's breezed 3 times, has had three nice works since that disappointing run in the Myrtlewood. The Steve Asmussen horse here, the Gunrunner filly, Runadara. She scared me. She's a little slow just in terms of prior races or prior form to this point. But she's clearly, as you can see, this arrow that I made pointing up, she's getting faster with each subsequent start. And I would imagine just getting better as she goes along. So she would be the price horse, if you will, after I missed her at 29 to 1. I missed the wedding last time out. Hopefully not showing up for the funeral with her, but she scared me a little bit. But all in all, I think this is a good spot for Counting Stars. I wish her good luck. I hope everybody has a great rest of their week, an excellent weekend as we continue headfirst into the middle of December. Okay, WPT Nation, I'm going to sign out, and I'll see you guys next time.